Welcome all. This late night I'm doing for this weekend, I'm doing the new moon in Taurus on Sunday around 12:30 Pacific time, and that's going to be like 7 p.m. Universal time. And what I wanted to do was also share about Saturday because I'm gonna probably drop this tonight. So you'll be getting it Saturday, but this will be about Sunday and Saturday too. I'll go over Saturday in a minute. And I wanted to do this. And I haven't connected my mic though. See if I can find my mic. Okay, so what I wanted to do was, let's see if you guys can hear me now, or hear me better. Okay, sorry about that. Or not sorry, but excuse me about that. Okay, so what I'd like to do is go over Saturday first. I don't have a chart up for it, but if you guys can just keep in mind, Saturday looks kind of easy. There's a really nice Aries moon that opens up the day with a sextile to Jupiter. And so the benevolence and the gentleness can continue this week, even though it's all building up to the Mars opposed Pluto at 6:05 p.m. And that, of course, is, very intense opposition, which brings out all the power dynamics. One person may take on the role of Pluto, another Mars, and this is like assertion versus power. And so there's some kind of transformation can take place as they kind of potentially bang into each other, potentially destructive, but ultimately kind of rehashing, recreating the landscape. And then the moon will go void of course, no more aspects for the day. And so we're looking at buried motivations, deeply buried motivations and control and aggression coming to the surface. But this has been building all week. I think I had one near text dispute, and also a client said something that was a little questionable to me. And I decided that the client was correct. Libra, typical Libra Mercury. So I let it go. And the text dispute really wasn't a dispute. It was just kind of a confusion of I decided to put back on my phone where it finishes the words for you. So now it's, of course, now I deal with the opposite problem of words being written that I didn't write. So, but moving forward, so Saturday's it's kind of nice. I mean, it's going to be the culmination of the Mars Pluto. So by the time 6:05 p.m. hits, all the warning signs, all the stop signs can be put down. It's been a really Pluto Mars week. People have been taking on the role of Pluto or Mars. It's been happening since like Thursday or Friday, actually, of last week. I had a friend share with me a story where she took on Pluto and the other person took on the Mars, kind of a chatty patty, just kind of just complaining and complaining, and she kind of just like put it down with the Pluto, put her boundaries down, and that was pretty cool to hear. Well, I mean, in the sense that that's what's happening. In an opposition, someone gets in your face, you're in someone's face. So one easily can take on the role of Pluto and the other Mars, or vice versa. I like to say take on the role of the sun. That's why I do the sun gates for the human design, because the sun is the focal point of energy. It's where our energy should be. Um, So that's Saturday. Sunday is signified by this chart here I have up, as you guys can see. This is a heart manifester chart, a 1-3 chart. Sun's in gate one, creating a foundation, and that's really nice. And we got the moon and the sun conjuncting Taurus gate 24.1. Now, I can peek at my write up for the 24. Not that I need a write up. The 24 is a particular gate I know really well. And Not an easy gate. And one wouldn't expect such energy to be um, under the umbrella of Taurus, but it is. It's a very visionary gate, very a lot of rationalizing, a lot of intelligence in this particular gate. This is the culmination or the limits of rationality. And so, in its lowest frequency, it's not a surprise that there's a lot of anxiety that surrounds this particular gate. The mind doesn't want to stop. It just wants to circle and circle, just endless tautologies, endless circles. And there's always a question here, how do we use the brain? How do we use the mind? Do we use it for logic or do we use it for laterality, thinking artistically, thinking indirectly as opposed to logically? And this is a type of gate which just plays the same song over and over and over and over again. So instead of circles, we want spirals. We want a creative overlays, creating their own patterns and moving out of the same old circle. And this is also an energy of addiction to be overcome. In a sense, thinking is a type of addiction, probably the worst type of addiction. Um, but really, we're all addicts. We're all dopamine addicts, and it's just the part of what it is. Whether these chakras are, if they're still in our bodies, I doubt it. But it's a control system. I mean, these chemicals that the body releases. It's not natural. It's like kind of controls us through our glands, through the programming of whatever these foreign alien institutions are in our body that produce these toxic chemicals that really toxify our relationships and our reactiveness. And so there is addiction underneath this particular gate. So the sun and the moon realigning in this particular gate is all about overcoming then. It's all about overcoming these addictive circles of thought, overcoming these addictions to worrying or thinking without stop, and these being caught up in these wheels within wheels of the minds. So we're looking at utilizing this energy of the mind for one's vision. As I've said before, these people that have this sun gate, especially in gate 24, these are visionaries. They can really access the astral, the extrasensory perception, the beyond third density realities, and bring in all sorts of deep, intelligent insight. And couple that with the 4323, and you have real genius there. And that's what it is. And that's what the challenge is, to overcome overdependence on the mind and trusting the visionary intelligence that is brought forth. And as you can see from this particular transit gate, we have the 4521 active, which is all about leadership and resources, having the resource, utilizing the resources correctly for the collective. And and that's what it is. That's some of the energy that's added to this. And so utilizing resources creatively with the influence of these individual gates of the 24 and the 8 here. We continue to have the North Node in Pisces at gate 36. This is a gate of mutation, the gate of emotional crisis and mutation and resolve. And this is what it is. Let's see if there's any. Oh, yeah, I'll bring up the astrology chart too. So this is the astrology chart, as you can see on it, that sun at 7 degrees, moon at 7 degrees is right when Taurus is at 24 at the 24th gate. And we see Mercury is still in Aries, Venus is in Pisces, getting ready to move into Aries as it continues to go direct. Mars is in Leo 4 degrees. Jupiter is at 20 degrees Gemini, getting ready to move into Cancer in a couple months. And Saturn is in Pisces, getting ready to move into Aries on May 25th. And then Uranus on the 26th degree of Taurus, getting ready to move into Gemini on July 7th. Neptune, they're already in Aries with Mercury and Pluto in Aquarius 3 degrees. It'll begin to retrograde in almost a week, less than a week. And that's what it is. If we look further, we got Mars in the 12th opposing Pluto. By Sunday, the Mars will be past Pluto already. So we're already seeing tomorrow, Saturday, or you'll be getting this Saturday. So you'll already be seeing that the Pluto and the Mars uh, power conflict combat will cease. But still be careful out there on the road, be careful in your communications, be gentle with each other. There was a lot of near car accidents and near car issues. I got close to having one and a friend did. So just a lot of chaos this week, a lot of intensity. And so that's already going to pass by Sunday. You can see the majority of the planets there in Aries and Pisces and Taurus. And that's about it. Nothing too much to share. I didn't add any asteroids to this particular chart. And this will be it for April. May, things should calm a little, and I'll be doing the dream wave tomorrow, most likely, or having that video go out tomorrow, including the Hades moon, which is the Pluto's aspects for the rest of the month. Oh, I forgot to add, there will be tomorrow morning, Pluto will be squaring this new moon. It's kind of a loose orb, but on Sunday, it'll be a wide square with Pluto. But actually, yeah, sorry, in the early morning hours, it'll be a square because the moon will be in the early degrees of Taurus before it reaches the conjunction with the new moon. So that'll bring challenges to any kind of emotional security as it normally does, and bring any hidden things to the surface in order to be communicated and challenged and compromised and made clear. So hopefully that was helpful to you all. I'm going to keep this pretty quick, and that's about it. Have a great new moon on Sunday, and see you guys soon on the Dream Rave and the Hades moon.